Hi, I'm Dr. Shona Schofield and I'm a GP here at Baldry Surgery and also the PCN Clinical Director for Lancing and Sumpting.
So I'd like to say a big thank you to Dr. Schofield, who's taken the time this morning to talk to myself about the support offered to carers through the practice and what support is available. So the first question to Dr. Schofield is, what role do you think the practice can play in identifying a carer and routing them through to support?
Well, certainly, we think of it certainly as a practice role in identifying carers because it's all of our responsibility, really. And it's making sure that we have an awareness of why we might want to identify carers. And therefore, once we understand that more as a practice, it then enables people to look out more for people who may need extra and additional support through carer support and other services. It's very important to be able to ask the question at different times and those touch points within the surgery. So it may be when someone's coming for an annual review, someone who has a carer, the carer may come with them and they may not be registered with us. It may be when they're seeking help for other reasons through the surgery or presenting to reception, maybe booking an appointment for somebody else. And there's also needing to have that awareness of the different people who may be a carer. And we traditionally think of older people who may have their relatives caring for them. But it's much wider than that, where there may be children who are caring for parents or grandparents, and also those who may have children who have learning disabilities or additional needs, and it's parents caring for them, where it's a wider role than the usual parental role.
That's lovely. Thank you for answering that in full. And you've actually sort of led on to the next question about how the practice can think, listen and look for carers, which you've already identified in the first answer. Is there anything that you can sort of add to that? Anything that you think that staff throughout the practice, from the reception right through to the practitioners, could be doing to identify and supporting carers?
So absolutely. We have our annual frailty reviews and the dementia reviews, learning disability reviews, and it's at that point thinking carer and who might be the other person that's supporting them. And so that's within the nursing and caring team. It's also our receptionists and care coordinators when they're booking the appointments, when they're speaking to people on the phone, or they may be presenting to reception. Again, thinking to ask the question, and it may not be just, are you a carer? Because people may not understand it as such, but they may think, how are people dependent on you? Is this member of your family going to struggle if you weren't there? And those sort of questions are really important to ask, because that's when you might find that someone has actually got quite a significant caring role that they haven't identified themselves. And at that point we can signpost on. It's also really important that the reception team and others know what to do once you've identified someone as a carer. The important point is adding a code so that we have a register that is up to date. And also we're lucky enough to have care coordinators here who will then make welfare calls. They will check in on an annual ad hoc basis, but they also will ensure that people, after they've been highlighted, to make sure that they are able to attend their annual reviews and they don't miss out on their own care, which is often the case, and also that they're connected with the other services and the support services like carer support.
So also thinking about some of the other groups of carers that may be supported, we tend to think of the older carers, the adult carers. Is there other sort of maybe younger carers, young adult carers that may be supported through the practice? Absolutely.
Certainly, this is obviously still work in progress. It's always rolling work because people become carers. It stops, starts again. But it's very important, I think, certainly I mentioned before the parents who may be looking after children with additional needs, but actually it's the children looking after parents and grandparents, and we often don't see them as carers. They're invisible. They don't necessarily come to appointments or attend as we might expect. And it's therefore asking, if we're seeing somebody with particular needs or disabilities at home, does somebody provide extra help and support? What extra help do you get at home? And that might actually highlight that it's their children that are providing that care. So it is important to ask, not only are you a carer, but who provides your care? And again, then being able to offer the additional support and that they may find valuable. There are lots of groups and support networks that are really, really important for young people. And certainly it's very important for the schools to be aware as well.
One final question that I've got is why can it be beneficial for GPs or practitioners to involve a carer in a consultation of the person with the care needs?
Well, that's twofold reasons to involve the carer with an annual review of somebody else, or at any review, any consultation really, where it's reasonable. It's related to the importance, I suppose, of both people's needs in that consultation. So, for example, in a dementia review, we might look at the carer's strain index and how are they struggling, because that will impact both of them. And then from there, it's ensuring that we pick up what is really important for the person being cared for, that they may not be able to vocalise themselves or may not be as aware of. And it also can give you a highlight of the vulnerability of the situation and whether they may need to be registered with other support agencies in case the carer is unwell themselves, and also then ensuring that the carer themselves are able to look after their own health, and are they accessing the support that they need from the surgery or beyond? Have they got sort of unmet needs around anxiety, depression or stress and pressures that again either the surgery or other agencies are able to support with? And that may include sort of respite and other funded support that's available.